Hey folks, Florida Rider here. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, my first day out on the Florida Trail in Ocala National Forest. It's already 85 plus degrees with 100% humidity, so I'm rocking it French Foreign Legion style today. Those of you who are not familiar with Florida hiking, water's few and far between most places down here. I'm carrying 5 liters on my back right now, which brings my total pack weight up to about 40 pounds. It's hot, it's muggy, it's buggy. It's Florida in the summertime. Hey folks, Florida Rider here, still coming to you from Ocala National Forest, the big scrub. I'm walking through what seems to be the doldrums area of this forest. There is no shade out here whatsoever. There's a little bit of wind, thankfully. It's helping keep the humidity down. But aside from that, man, this is hot. Florida Rider here, folks. It's the end of day one. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening. Got camp set, sitting here in the Hennessy. I'm going to call it a night. It's probably close to 100 degrees out here with the heat index. There is no wind whatsoever. Y'all stay safe. I'm going to get some sleep. Trio of sandhill cranes. And this is the lake where I spent my first night here in Ocala National Forest, folks. Florida Rider coming to you way too early in the morning. Hey folks, Florida Rider here again, coming to you from the Florida Trail in Ocala National Forest. It's about 8 a.m. and I'm getting real tired of running into banana spiders on the trail. These things are ugly, huge, and love to build their webs right across the trail. So I'm going to take care of this guy and move him out of the way and continue on my way. Found a geocache here. Opened it up because I wasn't sure whether or not it was somebody's water bottle that they left on the trail or not. There's a Mardi Gras geocache thing inside, along with a little film canister. I'm not going to monkey with it, this is for somebody else, but thank you whoever did so, and thank you for leaving something to let me know that it is a geocache rather than somebody just forgetting their water bottle. It's been a dry year here in Florida. This sinkhole right here, it's got a little bit of water in the bottom. This is normally a pond from the looks of it. Anyway, it's been hard to find water this year. I'm down to about 1 liter right now. It means I need to be rushing on to this next stop, which has water at it. Hopefully Farrell's campsite will be open. If not, I got to push on for another 2 miles without water, which is going to be fun because by then it's going to be almost midday. Alright, time to get going. Made it to Farrell's Lake campsite, day use area, and glory of glories, there is running water here. I know I have the filter, and I tried to get down into the lake last night to get some, but honestly, trying to get it out of that lake, I was worried about the sediment. I pre-filtered with a coffee filter, but even with that, it was pumping pretty slow, so I didn't want to get too much of it. I pulled up enough for my night use, and to get me here, and maybe up to the next site that should have water, but since this actually has running water, well, okay, pumping water, I'll be good right up until my evening campsite, which means I can carry all 5 liters. Signing off again, Florida Rider. Florida Rider here again, folks. I want to talk to you about bears. Black bears, to be specific. Here in Florida, especially in Ocala National Forest, we have a fairly sizable black bear population. Matter of fact, I just came within 50 yards of one. Usually they're not aggressive. Thankfully, this one wasn't. He turned around and ran away when he heard me coming. Another thing that you should always do is make some noise as you walk through the woods so you don't just come up on them unprepared. Florida Rider here, just a little bit further along the north end of Farrell's Prairie here. This is where I was going to spend my campsite for the second night here, but it's so dry that even the depressions down in the middle of the prairie here are completely bone dry. It's been a rough summer. I'm hoping I can find water up the trail. Worst comes to worst, I'll stop in at Juniper Prairie Campground and, get something there. Y'all stay safe. I'm going to give it a try. Florida Rider here. You're not going to believe this, but I just saw a mama bear and her cub. Both of them thankfully ran from me, and I'm really glad that I was making noise when I came up on them, because a cub is one of the few things that will cause a black bear to attack you. I finally managed to find water at the north end of Farrell's Prairie here, but with the two of them hanging out, I don't know if I want to stay here for the night. I think it might be best if I moved on. Alright, I'm going to get going. Y'all stay safe, because I'm going to do the same.
I'm going to sing a song called Whiskey in a Jar, ladies and gentlemen. It goes like this. As I was going over the famed Kilgannon Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money.
Hey folks, Florida Rider here. Looks like we got some weather moving in up here, so don't expect to hear from me again until I've made camp. Y'all stay safe and dry. I'm gonna try. Folks, Florida Rider here, coming to you from the big scrub Ocala National Forest. Today was supposed to be an easy day. It's supposed to be 6 miles, camp, do some bushcraft, have a good time, lays out. First day was supposed to be the big day. I was doing 15 plus miles. And then tomorrow was supposed to be a big day. I was supposed to do 12 plus miles. I was going to take it easy today. I was going to take it easy on the 4th day. Didn't quite work out that way. Bear activity, mama bear and her cub, and daddy bear hanging out by the north rim of Farrell's Prairie decided me, along with the lack of water there was some, but it would have been a pain to get to continue on. Now when you're solo hiking, that's one of the worst things you can do. But one of the advantages that I had was that I had called ahead and found out where all the payphones were. So what I did was I hiked up to Juniper Prairie Campground, and I called my wife and went, hey, my itinerary is changing. And here I am. I'm just north of Whispering Creek here in Ocala National Forest. Thankfully, in the Juniper Prairie Wilderness, you can camp anywhere you want. So I'm going to call it a night here. Wound up being, I think, 15 or 16 miles altogether today. I'll have to double check that, and I'll get back to you on it. And I wanted to talk to you about my hammock setup. Right here, we have the Hennessy Expedition Asymmetrical Zip Model Ultralight. This is a wonderful hammock. It's comfortable, it's light. Well, relatively speaking, your DIYers out there, I'm sure, know better. And will support me and another 50 pounds if I need it to. I've converted the stock Hennessy suspension to Tri-Glides from Jacks Are Better. These are wonderful. They're easy to set up, they're easy to adjust, they sure as heck don't slip. I'm using MSR groundhogs here for stakes. Sorry, it's a little bit past where I wanted to pan. Got the tie out to one. You'll notice I don't have my tarp set up. What I do have up is my continuous ridge line here. At this end, we have ourselves a trail twig that's been cow hitched. I suppose most of you folks call this a large head. I learned it as a cow hitch. Into the line. I then run the line around the tree and back over and then over the knot. Always over the knot, not the toggle, and back to tighten it. Finish off with a couple of slippery half hitches. You wind up with this big loop here because I have way too much line on this. And then if you run all the way across the continuous ridge line here, eventually you hit my no-seam DIY no-sew mesh bag for the tarp. I've got the big polyurethane coated Hennessy Hex in here. It'll keep me dry in just about anything, which is an advantage here in Florida as it rains something like 360 days out of the year. If you continue on down the line, I've got myself a little mini biner on the end. This doesn't need to be climbing rated. It just needs to be light and be able to hold, you know, maybe 50 or 60 pounds worth of weight. This is just fine. I got it from Wally World for I think $1.50. Anyway, that there's my setup. Here is my poncho liner that I use for top insulation during the summer months. I haven't dealt with the winter months yet here in Florida, all 2 of them that we get. So we'll see what I need for bottom insulation when that time comes. I'm camped about, 250 feet from the creek. I don't know if you can see it. Nah, not really from here, but you can see those palm trees over there, and those are right over it. Anyway, I'm going to call it an evening. Y'all stay safe. I will too. Good morning, folks. Florida Rider here, coming to you from Ocala National Forest. It's a little bit after 7 in the morning. I slept in a little bit later than I intended to, which is fine. I've got a water source here, which means even with the heat I'll be fine. Let myself get a little dehydrated yesterday. Always a big no-no, especially here in Florida. This heat will kill you if you're not careful. One of the biggest things to look for is if you're feeling irritable and tired, you're probably not drinking enough water. On top of that, if your urine isn't clear or very, very lightly yellow colored, you're probably dehydrated. Figure you're going to drink about 1 liter of water an hour, maybe a little bit more if it's hot, you're out in the sun, anytime that you're actually doing any kind of work. And lugging a 40-pound pack definitely qualifies as work. Well, I slept good last night, aside from the occasional bird call. Slept under the stars, didn't need the tarp at all. I don't know if you can see that through the netting, but here. That's my view right there. No real animal activity to speak of. I expected to be hearing stuff all night. It's a fairly open area. But I'm fairly glad for a good night's sleep. I guess it's time to be moving on. Y'all take care. I will. Florida Rider here, coming to you from Ocala National Forest, the big scrub. This here is Hidden Pond. I actually walked straight past it the first time without even noticing. I had figured that it must be further up the trail, because the trail data book indicated there was a bridge over one of the creeks back in the way, and that the other one had water. One of them didn't have water, and one of them didn't have a bridge. So I figured this couldn't be it. Well, turns out it is. I made it about 1 mile up the trail and I went, I've gone too far. That was probably it. Turned around, came back. I just caught a nap in the hammock, and I'm going to head on up to the trailhead to meet my wife. It's going to be wonderful to see her. Y'all take care. I know I will. Signing off. Florida Rider here, folks. Coming to you from Ocala National Forest. And this is why you should always build extra time into your plans. If you're going to be meeting somebody at any specific time when you're hiking, always build in a fudge factor of about 20% of the distance. I missed the yearling turnoff. So right now I'm taking one of the forest roads out to State Road 19 and then making a right to backtrack. It's going to add on about a mile and a half to my trip. That's what I get for being an idiot and trying to rush to the trailhead. Anyway, y'all take care, because I will. Hey folks, Florida Rider here, coming to you from the Yearling Trailhead here in Ocala National Forest. This is where I end my hike. I just ran across the street to Silver Glen Springs and jumped in the spring, and now I'm just waiting on Mrs. Florida Rider to come pick me up. Never ever keep a good woman waiting. Y'all take care. I had a good time. Signing off, Florida Rider.
Such a long time ago, we up and started down this road together.